Topping today's news, Prime Minister Philip Davis addresses the United Nations General Assembly. The opposition chairman addresses critical shortages local blood banks face. And Social Services Director speaks out after a light sentence for a serial rapist. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's definitely a pleasure to have you join us. While speaking at the United Nations General Assembly today, Prime Minister Philip Davis continued his fight for climate financing and more assistance for vulnerable developing states like the Bahamas. The Prime Minister chastised developing countries for their focus on war and military equipment while spending far less on protecting humanity from global warming that has passed the critical threshold of 1.5 degrees centigrade.
At this very moment, the new harsh reality manifests in hurricanes and heat, fire and floods. Member states can somehow quickly find eye-watering sums of money for bullets and bombs, but only rattle small change in their pockets when it comes to financing the costs of loss and damage, repair and recovery, so desperately needed to adapt to the new climate reality. Why? Why do members persist in ignoring the biggest threat of our lives? The easy answer would be to say that you just don't care. But I cannot accept that. To do so would be to accept a view of humanity which is at odds with my faith and lived experience of humanity.
The Prime Minister then explained to the world leaders why the Bahamas has applied to be a temporary member of the United Nations Security Council.
The Security Council of the future will not be equipped to deal with the biggest crisis of our time without voices like ours at the table. The link between climate change and global security is undeniable. Things are bad now, and they're going to get a lot worse before they get better. Climate considerations must be integrated into all aspects of the Security Council's work. Because of this, the Bahamas stands ready to advocate and support whatever reforms are needed to help maximize the effectiveness of the work of the Council. Membership for countries like ours was not what the Charter members contemplated when the UN was established. But it is countries like ours which will help the Council with inclusive, truly representative decision-making needed to help address the greatest crisis of our time.
Prime Minister Davis also had a very strong message for developed countries in regards to what he describes as unfair global financial systems.
Aspirations to lasting global peace and security will remain empty dreams if not supported by economic security. For too long, the global financial system has been skewed against developing nations. It is a cruel irony that industrialized nations who bear the greatest responsibility for the climate crisis often perpetuate another form of injustice in the form of our current global system. We have been instrumental in exposing the hypocrisy of unilateral blacklisting and advocating for a framework that prioritizes fairness and inclusivity. The present system, with its dark rules and uneven playing field, drains resources from developing countries, leaving us to grapple with the consequences. The Bahamas refuses to accept this double standard. We are raising our voice to demand a fairer and more equitable international framework, one where the voices of all countries, regardless of population or GDP, are heard and respected.
Prime Minister Davis also spoke about the challenges in Haiti and the efforts needed to help Haiti become a stabilized country once again. We'll have more from his speech in a later report. On Wednesday, many residents in the country were left shocked and appalled after 22-year-old Joel Strawn, who was charged with raping multiple women within days of each other, including the brutal rape and sodomy of an 83-year-old grandmother, was given just a 9-year prison sentence after a plea deal. While on Thursday, Acting Director of Social Services Shalome Fernanda said stiffer penalties are needed in instances like this.
We need to look at what is on our books now and see what we can do to strengthen them. It'll take a collective effort, certainly. Now, I'm not aware of a law that specifically speaks to sexual offenses against senior citizens, but we do have the Sexual Offenses Act that addresses sexual offenses in general. And maybe it's time for us to look at that. seniors, and then I'd add persons with disabilities.
Mrs. Fernando said the most vulnerable citizens among us should be afforded greater protections. And finally, in this segment, the chairman of the Free National Movement, Dr. Dwayne Sands, shared his views on the imminent blood shortage at the blood bank during an interview with Christian Jones on Love 97's Issues of the Day talk show on Thursday. Dr. Sands explained that the issue of blood shortage is directly linked to Bahamians not donating as they should. When asked why he felt donations were stagnant, he had this to say.
We have had, since Bernard Nottage was the minister, a plan for a national blood bank, which is really the only thing that's going to solve the problem. A national blood bank where it is in a convenient location where we can have national blood drives, etc. Because Bahamians, unfortunately, and there are some soldiers, some amazing people who donate regularly, but the average Bahamian does not donate blood unless their family member or loved one is in need of blood. Right. So I think we can get into the specifics of policy, but that is a far less significant reason why people don't donate blood. But blood and blood availability in the Bahamas is a massive problem, particularly given the problem that we have with violence.
Dr. Sands emphasized that this issue of blood affects all Bahamians, and when asked if he thinks Bahamians should receive monetary compensation like some other countries do, he said he felt voluntarism, the samples were likely to be less contaminated than from persons out there donating blood for a payment. You're listening to JCN News. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.